Another auto pen shocker. New emails reveal Biden officials privately expressed concern at the controversial pardons granted in the final months of his presidency and questioned if Sleepy Joe even knew about them. Sure sounds like it could be one of the great scandals of our time.
I think the auto pen is one of the great scandals of our time. The auto pen was our president, or to put it a different way, whoever operated the auto pen was our president. It's not allowed. It's just not allowed. I think it's a tremendous scandal.
So many scandals, so little time, Paul. If Biden had handed all this power to other people, why can't these decisions then be undone?
Well, they should be, all right? I mean, and the problem here is that this is going to be an issue of first impression, as they call it in law, which is there's no roadmap for what to do now. But the bottom line is the president, not people he has, have the power for this pardon, and very clearly he wasn't in the loop on it. But here's where I think the investigation should go in light of the fact that they are investigating. There are some odd one-offs here that were included, and you got to say to yourself how and why. You got to go down the chain on that, because you got to say to yourself, why this guy? And you got to see what district he's in. Then you got to see how that email came in. And you got to keep going, because from where I sit, because you have some real oddball pardons here that have come out of the blue, feels to me like at the ground level, somebody said, look, I got my nephew here. He's not a bad guy. He commits 16 robberies, but you know what? I'll donate $10,000 to your campaign. Can you put a word in the big guy's ear and get my guy out of it? Now, I don't know that. I want to be clear. But I don't have another explanation for how some of these oddball pardons came in when you look at the panoply of oddballs. Go all the way down to the ground level, find out the genesis of some of these pardons, because some of them are really bad.
Panoply of oddballs. That was going to be the original name of my show, Jesse. You know what's interesting is if you look at Biden, none of these people were vetted. He granted clemency to more people than any president in history. Doesn't that sound just like the border?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's like open the doors or close the doors.
Right.
Yeah.
So Paul's right. It looks like a cash grab to me. If you have 4,000 pardons during the lame duck, and Biden says he knew their names, and he didn't know any of their names, and even his people said he knew no one's names. So you have to have a pardon lobbyist take cash from a crack dealer, and then quid pro quo, did Biden get a kickback for all these pardons? I mean, his family's broke. His son is in $5 million debt from lawyers. Biden himself took out a loan to cover expenses. And they need money for a library because there's no library. There's no donors. I wouldn't be surprised if some of this pardon cash ended up funding the library. It's something to investigate.
Is presidential libraries in Delaware?
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
Yeah, another reason to drive through Delaware. Dana, January 6th, still the worst day in the history of the world. Let's forget about the auto pen, the fact that there was no president for 4 years. Focus on January 6th.
Well, you know where that's coming.
Yes.
So it's coming. So
It's coming
just
from
be
over
prepared.
there.
Yes, be prepared. This is what I want to say. When I first heard about this over the weekend, I was kind of relieved.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so there was still somebody at the White House who had like some concerns, some pulse on what was going on, and maybe they were overruled by the president. Yeah, maybe there was still somebody. And then I think, wait a second. Actually, I don't really have time for the lawyers who are now saying, well, we raised questions because they're being interrogated by the House Oversight Committee. It was like Biden, you said, I think one of you mentioned, he wanted to be known as like the FDR. He wanted to do everything. He wanted to be the first to do this. He was going to call every European leader. He was going to pardon the most people. And it was like, you get a pardon, and you get a pardon, you get a pardon. And I think the most egregious thing is that looking back, you realize that was a lot of this was, I think, dark money group stuff. They wanted like all of these soft on crime things. That's the reason that the Democrats are still in the doldrums of popularity, even despite January 6th.
Damn it. So, Jessica, I save you for last because I have a poignant question. If the party lied to you for 4 years about your president, they played you for a fool, how can you not be disgusted by your own party? How can you remain a Democrat when you know how they treated you? Unless you were in on it from the start. Were you in on it from the start, Jessica? Is that why you don't care?
I was the one who laced up his shoes myself, and I don't know. Listen, I think there are some people who feel that way genuinely. And some people who usually vote for Democrats went out and voted for Trump in 2024. I think that at the end of the day, though, people, I mean, this is a little bit different with Donald Trump, but at least on the Democratic side, since Obama, it's not a cult of personality issue. It's a set of policy preferences, and they like the Democratic policies better than they like Republican policies, and they'll show up to vote in the midterms and in 2028 based on that.
You need to find those policies.
No, we have them. They're written down. As for the last minute pardons for people that are personal, every president does that. President Trump obviously did that, down at the wire. Even some people that we all
they
know.
Were crack dealers.
I'm not. I'm
Jessica.
saying
I mean,
I'm
there was
separating
like thousands
them.
Of crack dealers.
I'm separating them and saying there are personal pardons, and then there are these mass commutations. And the problem with a lot of them was that it didn't go through the right DOJ channels, and even people like Senator Blumenthal, who's been a big ally of President Biden, called it out and said, some of these must be a mistake. And it seems to have come from the fact that there were state convictions versus federal charges, and the federal charges were like a cocaine charge, but they had murdered someone, and then they let them back out on the street. So I would be for, and maybe we can all agree on this, that you have to personally, with something like that, you have to personally go through absolutely all of it, including violent January 6th offenders.
Well done.
Thank you.
If you can find one.
What?
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.